Hey guys, Simon here again. I said I'd have a quick rundown on my limited amount of gear. Just have a quick little rundown. I'm no expert in guitars. As I said, I'm very much a beginner. Um, but basically, my entire setup probably cost less than £1,000. My amplifier, my three guitars, my cables, my wireless transmitters, my folders, my picks, everything that I've invested in so far probably stands me at less than £1,000. So it just goes to show you don't have to spend an absolute fortune. Obviously, you can spend an absolute fortune. I'd love to be able to spend an absolute fortune, but it's not necessary. 20 or 30 years ago, if you only spent a couple of £100 on a guitar, you'd probably end up with a real cheap piece of crap that you wouldn't be able to set up properly, wouldn't be playable, wouldn't sound very good, probably wouldn't last very long and stand the test of time. Fortunately, nowadays we have such a big choice from all the way down from real budget guitars all the way up to mega bucks, Gibsons, PRSs, Fenders, like a Murphy Lab aged relict Gibson. I think you can spend well over £10,000 if you wanted to. But what I want to show you is that as certainly as a beginner, you can have a real decent home setup for not a lot of money. So anyway, this is my first love. It isn't actually my first guitar. The first guitar that I purchased was a Les Paul copy in Sunburst. It was an Encore Les Paul. I bought it for my 30th birthday, thinking that buying a guitar and an amp and spending a couple of weeks fiddling about with it, I'd be playing like Slash or Knopfler or Clapton, and I probably spent no more than a month fiddling about and messing about and not really putting any structure into my practice, probably not putting the time into my practice, and I've kind of always suffered with the same problem. I want to be able to pick something up or start doing something, and I want to be great at it straight away. I want instant gratification, and as I'm sure you're all only too aware, that playing guitar, there is no instant gratification. It's incredibly challenging. It's incredibly difficult. I don't think there's a musical instrument that's easy to play, but I believe that guitar is up there with some of the hardest instruments to play. So I played for about a month and I couldn't play anything more than Wild Thing, A, D, E, over and over again. I wasn't pushing myself, I wasn't practicing properly, and I got to the point where I thought, oh well, I can't do it. So I put the guitar in its soft case, and I stuck it in a cupboard, and I forgot about it. Now my love for guitars and guitar music has never subsided, but the guitar remained for probably 12 and a half, 13 years. And when Rosie, my second daughter, was born, obviously I was already spending a lot more time at home, having had Molly in 2017. But in 2021, when Rosie was born, I figured I'm going to be spending a lot more time at home. Why not give it another go? So I dug the guitar out. I started practicing, and I started practicing properly, but I was struggling with it. The action was quite high. Tuning stability was non-existent. So we're lucky where I live. We have a lovely little independent music shop. Quick plug for S&J Music in Lichfield. Hi Steve, if you're watching, which you won't be. Anyway, yeah, cut a long story short, we're blessed with a lovely little independent music store. So I took the guitar in and asked him if he could give it a once over, give it a bit of a setup, try and drop the action down a little bit. I left it with him. He was busy, so he probably had it for about 10 days. I was itching to get it back, because by this time I'd really got into practicing, and I wanted to practice. Anyway, I went and picked the guitar up. He'd managed to lower the action. He'd restrung it. He'd oiled the fretboard. But with it being a cheap guitar and with it being stored incorrectly for over a decade, the neck had warped. So it wasn't too bad for open chords at the bottom of the neck, but anywhere probably above the 5th fret, it was buzzing. It was going down instead of up. So the neck had warped, and basically there wasn't anything he could do with it. So I still have that guitar. It's actually round at my dad's. I've tried to encourage my dad to get back into guitar. Dad being another inspiration for me. He used to have a little 6-string, nylon 6-string, and a large 12-string acoustic that he used to play to me when I was a kid. So he's up there with Slash and Knopfler and Noel Gallagher. So he's currently got that guitar. It doesn't work very well. So I wanted to play. So I treated myself, and I bought a replacement. I wanted another Les Paul. I couldn't afford an Epiphone. I certainly couldn't afford a Gibson. But going into S&J Music, they'd got this in there. So it's second hand. It's never been owned by anybody. It's an ex-demonstrator model. So really it's brand new. It's second hand, but it's brand new. There's not a mark on it, and it is, I don't know whether you can see that logo on the headstock there. You probably won't be able to see that on the back there. No, you can't see that. It is a Stagg Les Paul. So also my clip-on tuner is also a Stagg. It cost me £200. So this is going back to what I was saying about being able to buy a decent instrument for not a lot of money. It's £200. It's based on a custom, as you can see from the block inlays, not the trapezoid, the block inlays that start at the 1st fret. Twin zebra humbuckers, 2 volume, 2 tones. It has push-pull volumes, which are called coil taps. So that splits the humbuckers and makes them sound like single coils. And yeah, it's a nice sparkly gold top. Obviously, it's not proper binding; it's painted on binding. But for £200, it's a lovely, lovely instrument. This was my first love. This really, really was where the journey began for me. It's yeah, it's a nice guitar. It's a nice guitar. It's not my favourite. I will come into that in more detail in probably the next video and explain why it's not my favourite, but it is my first love. I also, sadly, I name my guitars. Not very imaginative. She is called Goldie. No prizes for guessing why she's called Goldie, but yeah, this is my first love. This is really where the journey started. Oh yeah, sorry, going back to £200. It's a set neck, not a bolt on, it's a set neck. It really, really is a nice instrument for £200. So you don't have to spend a fortune. You really don't have to spend a fortune. So yeah, just a quick video. That's guitar number 1, Goldie, my Stagg Les Paul Custom. Okay, thanks. See you later, guys.